Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We will present our final year project, which is the Analytic Hierarchy Process (AHP) approach for selection of gadget in education. Our supervisor is Puan Rasidah binti Buang. My name is NURUL ADLINA binti MOHAMAD Nur HAKIMIN as presenter 1, FARIHAH FITRI binti BAKHTIAR as presenter 2, and Amirah Syadiyah binti Muhammad SHUKOR as presenter 3. I will begin the presentation. The COVID-19 virus started spreading in the middle of 2019 and has caused many businesses, schools, universities, and others to shut down. As a result, many organizations, including educational institutions, have to conduct the classes online. Hence, many preparations need to be done, and the educators and students need suitable devices to ensure that the learning and teaching process runs smoothly. There are plenty types of gadgets can be chosen in the market, and according to Longo 2015, these digital technologies or gadgets allow for manipulating information and communication with other people. Meanwhile, visual learning is the platform for educators to conduct distant education. According to Rachiva 2017, visual learning is the activities that take place online, with the teachers and students being physically apart. The selection of gadgets plays an important role in academic in the current situation. It is to ensure that the visual learning is going smoothly, just like a physical learning session. Since there are various types of gadgets in the market, some of them might have a hard time choosing the right gadget for their visual learning and teaching session. They also might choose the wrong devices too. Therefore, an effective approach to the gadget selection is very important to make it easier, especially for educators. There are two objectives, which are to determine the criteria and alternative in selecting gadgets by using the analytic hierarchy process. Second, to identify the most preferable gadget by using the analytic hierarchy process. In this study, both objectives were met successfully.
For the data collection method, we use survey and questionnaires. Survey are physical or digital questionnaires that gather both quantitative and quantitative data from subjects. Our type of data is primary data. The data collected by using questionnaire in Google Form. Our scope is the lecturers and students in UiTM Seremban from all faculty, which is FSKM, FSR, and FSPPP. In the study, we use Analytic Hierarchy Process or AHP method. There are three phases in this method. First, we need to collect empirical information and data through questionnaires. We distributed the questionnaires to the respondents by Google Form due to the pandemic situations right now. Second, we identify criteria and alternatives involved. In the study, there are 5 criteria and 4 alternatives. The criteria are brand, price, RAM, battery capacity, screen and resolution, storage size, and weight. There are 4 alternatives in the study, which is desktop, laptop, tablet, and smartphone. Third, first we need to construct a hierarchy framework for the analysis. Second, we need to apply AHP method for weight of criteria and alternative. In this step, there are 3 stages. First, we need to find the weightage of criteria, weightage of alternative by each respondent, and weightage of alternative. For the first stage, we need to create the comparison matrix, find normalizer matrix, find weightage and consistency of matrix for each respondent. For the consistency matrix, we need to calculate the eigenvalue. For the second stage, we use the same steps as the first stage, but we use it for each criteria on each alternatives. For the third stage, we multiply the matrix of alternative for every criteria in the alternatives with the respondent weightage from the criteria.
Assalamualaikum, I am FITRI. I will present bar result. The data analyzed with the virtual graphic. We will start with the data of respondent that has contributed to our study. As we can see, respondents are mostly from faculties of FSKM and FSPPP. Next, the graph shows the comparison result of important criteria by gender. As we can see, both gender has same result where both gender selected size storage as the most important criteria and weight as the least important criteria. For the graph, it has different result for both gender. For female respondent, the most preferred alternative is a smartphone, while male respondent chose a laptop. And the least preferred alternative for female is a desktop, and for male is a desktop too and a tablet. Comparing by faculty, it can be seen FAPP has 3 important criterions. FSKM, FSPP, and FSR achieve the same result with size storage being their most important criterion when selecting a gadget. Faculty FSKM and FSPPP produce the same result for the least important criterion, which is weight, whereas faculty FSR choose price. For preferred alternative by faculty, FPPP chose a laptop as the preferred option. Faculty FSKM and FSPPP have similar result in their most preferred alternative, which is smartphone, and their least preferred is a desktop. So does FSR. On the other hand, FSR has 2 preferred options, which are laptop and a smartphone. The weightage graph shows the most important criterion is criteria 6, which is size storage. This can be explained by as devices used for educational purposes, it requires a lot of storage. For example, several faculty courses demanding an extra storage capacity to install numerous files and install huge files. Meanwhile, the least important criteria is criteria 7, which is weight, since people didn't give a lot of thought to this criterion as long as their devices work properly. It also can be seen at the next graph, which is alternative. Alternative 4, which is smartphone, is the most preferable gadget since it can use easily to communicate with one another and can easily work from any places. In contrast, a desktop was picked as the least preferable gadget in education. This figure is represent the percentage of respondents for important criteria and preferred alternative. Criteria 6 was chosen by approximately 21% of respondents, making it the most important criterion when selecting gadget, while alternative 4 was chosen by 46% of respondents as the most preferred option for gadgets.
For the conclusion, the most significant criteria is criteria 6, which is storage size. Since the weightage is 0.1718 and the majority of the respondents chose the criteria of female from FSKM and FSPP, we decided to make it the most significant criteria. For the most preferable alternative, we chose the alternative 4, which is the smartphone, as the weightage is 0.2947 and the majority respondent are female from FSKM chose the alternative. For the recommendation, first, we suggest to implement the study method with other methods. AHP method can be integrated with fuzzy topsis, evaluation of mixed data, and ZOGP model. Second, we suggest to enhance the study population and data collection to ensure the result for the most preferred criteria and the alternative to be more accurate. Lastly, we can apply the AHP method in other fields. We can apply it in finance and banking, government, agency, and healthcare facility instead of education industry.